very good afternoon. Welcome to Younib TV News at 1. I'm Jesicca Adiang, here to bring you the stories making headlines on this 20th day of August 2025. We have a lot lined up for you, including the jitters between the Parliament and the Executive, and also the controversial wait for the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Before we take a look at this and many more, let us first take a look at the stories making headlines.
Actually doing active investigations on various individuals, and as and when that kind of information is available, we'll share with members of the
security agencies should be prepared for a more chaotic environment as a result of his coming back to the country.
Sasa nimekuwa mtera, nimekuwa Al-Shabaab. Sasa mimi nashangaa. Wana evidence yangu waniita tera.
Thank you for choosing Younib TV. Now, in response to the harsh criticism from the executive over purported extortion charges, members of parliament have retaliated by calling on House speakers to call President William Ruto to testify. MPs convened a session in the National Assembly to discuss the president's allegations, promising that it will not be business as usual with the administration moving forward.
Who gave the alleged inducement? Number three, what was the purpose of the inducement?
How many pipes are leaking government revenue to private pockets? Do your work as members of parliament. Let us call them out. Let us take the war to them.
It must be that they want to salvage their political aspirations at the expense of the members. They must have realized that many members perhaps are unpopular, and so they want to throw them under the bus.
If you're the president, you know those who are stealing. Why don't you arrest them? Why do you come to tell us? What do I have to do with it? You are the president. You are saying you want to fight corruption. And you know those who are stealing. What are you waiting for?
If it is corruption everywhere, and it must be fought in that manner. But if you want to make it sectional, Mr. Speaker, then you lose the war on corruption.
For the president to come and explain who are those people who are demanding bribes? Who are those people who are given bribes? Because you cannot try parliament in a kangaroo court.
I have received some letters about members that I would have presented to the agencies on different things. Sometimes I call you, I talk to you, and you correct your ways. Let's also uphold our integrity. I have given you an opportunity this afternoon. Waswahili wanasema muue mkala, lakini haki yake mpe.
Still on related news, members of parliament who are alleged to have demanded bribes are the subject of investigations by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. Earlier, President William Ruto issued a warning, saying that the legislators have made parliament a forum for extortion. The committee is already tracking a number of lawmakers who have been accused, according to EACC chairperson David Oginde, who also warns that if the evidence obtained is sufficient, no one will be spared.
Actually doing active investigations on various individuals, and as and when that kind of information is available, we'll share with members of the public, or you'll see the consequences in the various levels of the legal system.
Misuse of CDF, constituency development funds, inflated allowances, payments by various individuals who want themselves to be protected
We'd like to find out, are there specific individuals who are particularly engaged in this, and what can be done, not just to punish the current one, but to stop the whole process completely, so that those people who may have been hiding behind politics, behind patronage, would then have nowhere to hide when we go for them.
So if he has evidence, we hope that he has already provided it to the investigating authorities. If he hasn't, we expect that he will provide that evidence so that thorough investigations can be made.
Now, the government's decision to charge dozens of arrested demonstrators with terrorism has been sharply criticized by a number of human rights organizations, attorneys, and medical professionals. Advocates claim that many of the people detained during the 25th and Sabasaba Day protest are currently subjected to maltreatment that is state-sanctioned and intended to stifle dissent. Released protesters described torture while pointing out that many of them are powerless since they are unable to pay the hefty bail.
So after that, ndio nilijipata ITPU kwa anti-terrorism. Sasa nimekuwa mtera, nimekuwa Al-Shabaab. Sasa mimi nashangaa, wana evidence yangu wanitatera, itakuwaje? Mimi nikajipatia moyo, wakatuambia kesho tunaenda Kahawa koti.
Wakati nilipata rafiki yangu mwenye alikuwa ameshutiwa tumbo amekufa, mimi niliisha nguvu na nikafaint. Na wenye walichukua video yangu imetumika, hiyo video ndo wanatumika, naitwa terrorist, but I'm okay. Kwa sababu hao maheroes walikufa juu wakipigania haki.
Sasa sina mtu wa kunitolea hizo pesa, nikapelekwa Lang'ata main prison, nikakaa huko mwezi moja na kitu. Sasa nikajiuliza, sasa mimi nimefanya nini sasa? Mungu ako wapi nini?
A number of our clients have indicated to us that they were assaulted, that they were coerced, some of them were tortured while in the remand centers.
We are meeting young people who have bullets inside of them when they're in police custody. We have to negotiate for and try to fast track their bailout so that they can access medical services.
Now on to security matters. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has issued a stern warning to political figures regarding any attempts to disrupt the forthcoming CHAN quarter-final match between Harambee Stars and Madagascar, scheduled for Friday 22nd at the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani. Murkomen, who was speaking in Murang'a during the Jukwaa la Usalama Forum, assured the country that security officers are on high alert to thwart any attempt to disrupt peace.
The absence of that leader in the country or his arrival is a security threat, which is not entirely, which means you are not really entirely wrong, because in the last few months or weeks when he has not been around, the country has been very peaceful. And so you have a point by saying that perhaps the security agencies should be prepared for a more chaotic environment as a result of his coming back to the country. Let me say that the security sector is prepared to deal with any insecurity issues. The last time he was around and there were so many goons in the same of protests, we were very prepared. And every other minute the National Police Service is prepared to protect citizens and their property. We, of course, are aware of those elements of threatening disruptions, threatening football, threatening all these other issues. I need to say that we will take legal action against anybody who is going to break law. I wish Kenya remained peaceful as it was for the last 3 to 4 weeks. And I wish people continue their political activities in a more peaceful environment like we've seen in the last 4 or 5 weeks. But because we sometimes have no control of people's behavior and character, then we must be prepared to protect the citizens.
Now we will be taking a short break here at Younib at 1, but stay tuned for more updates. Now, welcome back and thank you for keeping it Younib at 1. Now, Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Ogamba has instructed public universities across the country to lower tuition fees for students. Ogamba assured that the Kenya Kwanza administration was committed to ensuring that no student was left out of tertiary education because of resource limitation. Earlier this year, the government had instructed universities to review the cost of every academic program in the different institutions.
We are rolling out fiber optic connectivity to schools, creating digital skills, training programs, and supporting innovation hubs that allow young people to turn ideas into impactful enterprises. The cost of education is a key factor in access. The Kenya Kwanza administration is committed to ensuring that no student is left out of tertiary education because of resource limitations. This is why earlier this year, we issued a directive to all public universities to review the cost of academic programs downwards. As we speak, the fees payable by students per semester will now range between Kenya shillings 5,814 and Kenya shillings 75,000, depending on the student's level of need and the cost of the programs that they are enrolled in. What we have to think about, ladies and gentlemen, is our respective roles in championing the vision of a holistic and value-based education. As education leaders, for example, our role is to have in place policies and curriculum designs that appreciate the relevant values in our education systems. It is also incumbent upon us to ensure that our educators, our teachers, and school managers envision their roles as moral and innovative leaders.
Now away from the capital and on to Machakos County, where Wavinya Ndeti, the governor of Machakos County, has finally addressed the nurses' strike, which is now in its second week, and charged that certain local politicians have taken advantage of the work stoppage to sabotage her government. She asserts that instead of concentrating on real solutions, union leaders were colluding with political figures, claiming that their actions were making the health crisis worse. The governor urged the nurses to prioritize the welfare of Machakos residents before their own political interests.
This is politically motivated because I've told you, look at the history of what I've been able to do as the governor of Machakos. When I first came in, I promoted over 422 of the healthcare workers. This is politics, and I just want to tell I just want to tell those who are trying to interfere with the health of the people of Machakos, it's not Wavinya that you're hurting. You're hurting the people of Machakos whom you purport to lead. If you love your people, you cannot interfere on such matters or bring politics. And we know what is happening, and we know the people. The politicians are interfering with the unions at the expense of the nurses. The union officials. Yeah? It is the union officials who are dining with the politicians on the expenses of the nurses. I love my nurses. I came. My nurses told me what their issues are, and I want to assure them, as the governor of Machakos, shida zenu nitatatua vile niliwaambia.
Now on to sports news. The Football Kenya Federation has organized a one-day workshop on the club licensing for FKF Premier League clubs aimed at enhancing the standards of football in Kenya. The workshop emphasized governance, professionalism, and operational practices, ensuring that local clubs meet international benchmarks. According to FKF, these initiatives are crucial for establishing a professional and sustainable future for football in Kenya. In the meantime, Harambee Stars players are confident that they are going to win against Madagascar in their upcoming quarter-final match coming this Friday.
How to professionalize our leagues and our clubs. We are needed now to professionalize the way we operate and run our our clubs, and mostly in terms of infrastructure. The venues where we play our matches, we are supposed to professionalize them. They're supposed to be in good condition.
Licensing is a pathway to professionalization. We need to professionalize Kenyan football, we need to professionalize the KPL clubs, the NSL clubs. We need to set an example. The only way we can be able to do that is to ensure that we abide for the rules.
For us kama wachezaji, is a good honor to represent country yetu mpaka hiyo stage tumefika, and I believe pia support wa Kenya wamenipatia ndio naweza sema imesaidia tufike that place so far, na naweza encourage mafan wazidi kukam na kutusupport wherever they are wakinini. I believe tutawapatia good show coming on Saturday.
Now that story brings us to the end of our bulletin this afternoon. Thank you for choosing Younib TV. For more of these updates and stories, make sure to follow us on our social media platforms to stay informed. I'm Jesicca Adiang. Thank you for watching and have a beautiful and productive afternoon.